Hello everybody, it's Mystic, and welcome back to my library. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support on my very first Booktuber Reacts video, which was the 5.0 ending of Shadowbringers. I really enjoyed the story, and I'm really glad that you all enjoyed it as well, and that you got to relive it through the video. All of the support was amazing, and I just really appreciate it. I also got many requests from all of you to continue posting my reactions to the stories. So all of the post 5.0 content, I'm going to also be posting reactions to that as well. And we are going to be starting things off with 5.1 right now. So let's get this started. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle, this girl who Thancred named Reen, to have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Celeste, might I ask a favor of you for when you next return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot? Tell her, thank you. Oh. And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Riol! I hope you're here to tell me you received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I have not had a peep out of him. And it's been a good long while now, too. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can get a signal to help to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way out through Gimlet now the fighting's died down. Gods, no, there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around here twiddling me thumbs. Any road, I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the Stones, and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients? She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. So, all of our friends that are still in the First. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. I don't like this music. What's happening? It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad. I don't know. I didn't like that music.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
What do you mean?
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be.
Uh-oh.
I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
I have a feeling this depends on who went first. Didn't Thancred pass out first when this all started happening? And then it was Y'shtola and Urianger, I think. So it's going in the order of who went to the first. Okay.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight, and you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Yeah, I'll say. All right, leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
Yep.
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along.
Oh, that's right. She knew him.
His plan might well have worked, but I, for one, am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through.
Same.
Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation.
Okay.
We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Hopefully. That would be nice.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Aren't they out in, like, the light desert?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
The Empty, that's a good name for it, actually.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
Will do.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected. To my eye, at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration.
That might help.
Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the First. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state.
Right, because I'm the only one that didn't leave a body behind, right?
I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Okay, but let's not jump to conclusions there.
What was that for?
I love
How
her!
can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Oh my god, Alice, I love you so much. That was amazing.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Okay, Alphino, come in my pocket. There we
Well,
go.
it would be nice if things were that simple
So
for a
little, it'll
change.
work.
But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease.
The massy soul.
We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrand is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
Good point.
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin-Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me.
Swarm?
Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Ooh. This place is pretty. Hello? Oh my god, its eyes. What? The music's really cool too. Oh, hey, there's brooms. This is feeling very Fantasia-y or Matoya's room-y. Swish, swish, aroo! Ooh, look at this place! Wow, it's so pretty! Seriously, look at this place. Look at the trees. Oh my gosh, the flowers. Holy moly, this place is so pretty. Anyway, I need to stop looking at the scenery and actually finish this dungeon. Oh my gosh. Ooh, there's a design. I kind of can see why the person that runs this place wants to keep it to themselves. Like, I kind of don't blame them. Ooh, this boss looks so cool too. Wow, I really like this place. Look at this boss. I'm getting so many Disney vibes from this place. With the... What? Ghosts. I mean, that's what I would have thought. Hang on, there's gotta be something in here. Poor Alphino. He's just scared. He's a scared boy. I don't see anything in here. I was thinking maybe there would be a chest or something. This one guy's name is Sir Mothbert. What a terrible name. Whoa, look at this. Seriously, I have such Disney vibes from this. I love this place. Those eyes, though. You have sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus, our guests yet want for company. Lugus. Oh my. Okay. Here we go. Oh, thank you. Take a bow. Take a bow.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Thanks. Huh? What? It's one of those cute things. Look at them.
Beq Lugg, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Oh my god, it's boys. It's so cute.
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence!
Did he just say sit like he's talking to a dog? Because I can't.
It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men.
I cannot. It's so cute. They are so cute.
Sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
Oh, do you need head scritches? Is that the problem?
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Come on, leave the puppy person alone. These are puppers. Very odd-looking puppers, but a puppers. Uh-oh, you made the puppers mad. Don't anger the puppers.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
What court mage?
Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
I didn't want to say lie down, because I feel like everybody is, like, giving it doggy commands.
Only to save your friends? Nothing more? Do you swear it?
I do.
No. No. Oh. Very well.
Good puppers.
I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
That's only fair.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing,
yes,
but
that was us.
You hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own, and your soul is the densest of them all.
Oh, really?
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
Really?
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
That seems fair.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
You've spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White Auracite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They've become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Auracite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting surfeit of aether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. leaving lifeless husks like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Ooh, are we going to be able to heal them? Why, do you think you might help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you would do anything which might increase their wouldn't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for any of us to accompany you. While I escort our guest to the inn, I will assist Urianger in recreating the requisite aura site. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave 3 of you to assist Beq Lugg as necessary? Let us make for Amareng then. So this is Halric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously towards the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? Poor Alphino. The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a Sin Eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Mumble. Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies on the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then for darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. I mean, it's worth a shot, so I guess we're gonna give it to all of them now. Todden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Darn. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Oh. So Ponil reacted to it. Let's see if Halric does. I'm assuming... oh no, Voin. I feel warm in my legs. They don't feel as heavy. Okay, so it worked on 2 of them, but it didn't seem to work on the first one, Todden. Now then, have you noticed any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients, at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. Yeah, that's pretty much what I found. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by your tonic. Oh, so I guess we tried it on Halric. Precisely. Darn. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it's possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it is impossible in treating them. We might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. It's interesting the people that are becoming the Sin Eaters have a similar issue to my friends that had their souls split. It really does make you wonder, like, what exactly the Sin Eaters did to them? I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which has never been seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, that should have been my greatest triumph, instead became my greatest shame. Let's say this one. You have a chance to redeem yourself. My gloves don't match my outfit. I don't like it. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility, but now we might have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your task will be to gather the necessary materials, the purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a Fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. We're friends with Fey, it's fine. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Oh no. Oh no, that's right. That's right. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Eulmore, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. Why don't I just call Fey? Wouldn't they help us? I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about, seek out the Pneumo of Plot Any. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for your needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Sure. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. Yeah, I always worry about that myself. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, and then heat the mixture with the Fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beq Lugg, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skills, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. Is there a chance this spell could do that? I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are a few in all of Norvrant more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Celeste? She is the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Halric, for Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alisaie shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Go, Alisaie, go!
Let us begin.
Okay.
I trust you've prepared the clay?
That is a lot of clay.
Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Yeah, we fought a lot of them in your house, actually.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
We just saw them. You got this.
There we are. How's that?
Look at its mouth!
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yeah, I'm with Alphino. He's still laughing.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Grotesque parody of reality. Poor Alisaie. But, I mean, come on.
You're not helping.
I think we're all getting a good chuckle out of this.
If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Oh, it looks so much better. Oh my god, it's so cute. That looks so much better though. But oh my god, it's...
Not bad for a first attempt.
I want one! Can you get them as companions?
Let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
Look at that face.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Angelo! What a name for a little flying piggy.
Mother.
Oh.
I...
Oh. How is he, Beq Lugg? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I wasn't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are, even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need some time to put my theories to proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Auracite. Thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beq Lugg said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such a treatment. Oh, Kaboo! Oh my gosh, that's right! Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow you speak of? I see, his condition does sound very similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beq Lugg and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you first to rest, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you! Oh! Hey! Kashir? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Eulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then, it's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beq Lugg. Did something happen to Master Chai? Sorry for bothering you all and all that, but she says the future of Eulmore is at stake. She is such...
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
I feel like she just loves Alphino so much, and it's so cute.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
Yeah, where is he?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthri out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
Okay.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Eulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Oh, I see.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
Aww.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee. Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
I'm with Alphino on this. Given how, like, he took such good control over the building of the Talos that it doesn't seem that he shies away from leadership.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I don't know, but whatever it is, he won't have fled. Yeah, it's this one. I don't think he fled either.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease.
Celeste, Alphino, Kaishir, what are you all doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it, and when she gets an idea in her head... I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Kaluja. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. Who? With respect, such forethought is, in itself, proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should you require convincing. He require convincing. Whatever you need, you can count on us. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Eulmore. But that dream's gone now, burst like a bubble, or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze, but you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up milk gog, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You've got to steer Eulmore to a better future. I know it. And I want to help, properly help, do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way if you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai, but we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Eulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here. To find the one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendon is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided the time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vothri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left, and between them they kept Eulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him.
Well, it's you again. And I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens. Though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Eulmoreans.
Oh, thanks.
They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vothri's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vothri. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. and I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
No.
Your sentiments are admirable, yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make.
Okay, so what does then?
In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Eulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthri was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthri's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
Not the same one, that's for sure.
I can offer no simple answer to that question.
Give him a chance. I believe in you.
But this much I will say. It is my hope that Eulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together.
There you go.
A great many people, myself included, flocked to Eulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us.
Sounds like a good plan.
The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Eulmore for the people.
Come on. You know you wanna.
A Eulmore for the people. I'd rather like the sound of that.
Yay!
But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Eulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Smug face. Oh my gosh. Ahem. Right then, is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Eulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. I mean, yeah, we're no longer eating sin eaters, so that is an issue. Ah yes, meal being neither a desirable nor a less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Eulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find the people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of all that by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago after speaking with the peoples of Eulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinese. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need to in no time at all. Rendon is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have. Which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Kalusia. Oh, the wild ones that are attacking? Okay. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me. Aha! The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether in a Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let it fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Eulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I have said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal of you. That's as may be, Kaishir, but Rendon tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say that the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. Aww. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Hear, hear. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kaishir says. These lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look around for any beast that could get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the Talos. Understood? Good. Then let's be off to the quick way. Through the north gate and see if we can find a suitable vantage point for you. I can scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Yeah, you do. Your plan to replenish Eulmore's food stores shows forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Eulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Eulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Eulmore's leadership is at last in capable hands. Would you not agree? I totally agree. We should probably get going back soon, Master Chai, after you've tinkered with the Talos and all that. Lady Chai is worried sick.
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Eulmore.
Cool.
What's that noise? Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
They sent one guard? Oh, okay.
Stay back! All of you!
Is that?
Yes, it is.
Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
Aw.
Yes, I can't.
Okay, don't crush him. Did you just kill the mayor?
Oh dear.
Heal him, Alphino? Yep, okay. He survived the Talos, only to get crushed by his wife.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
God, these two are so
Does that
cute.
mean you'll do it?
I can't handle it. I love them so much.
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor, and now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Yay!
Oh, how wonderful!
Oh no! Oh, they're so cute! Oh no, he's gonna die again. Oh no, here we go.
Dearest, please!
It was so cute! And also kind of horrifying. Poor guy has to get healed every time he gets hugged by his wife. You got this. I believe in you.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eulmore to look around? 'Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Forthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Eulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values.
Probably a smart move. They don't want somebody that's going to be having too much power for too long. It's too much like Vothry for them.
No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Forthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Eulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today, securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you.
Yeah, a lot of people have been living this super luxurious life, but hopefully they can get over it.
But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night.
Look at how she's looking at him. I love these two so much.
Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future.
Okay.
Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Eulmore!
For Eulmore. Come on, y'all. Look alive. There you go. That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all this, it is that change begins with the individual. She's still staring lovingly at him. I can't handle it. 'Tis but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Eulmorans can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road they have chosen. We have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the Emergent, dearest. It's too big, for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlor. That's a good idea. Closer to the people. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes, of course. Hathenbed? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech, but there's folk outside these walls that don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting on their crumbs. If you've a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. There we go. Then we have much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought this upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Celeste. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Eulmore's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends, in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better has taken its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit, just a matter of taking the first step. Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Eulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote and, after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Auracite? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. Uh-oh. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Auracite was ill-suited for our purposes. But Urianger, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with Beq Lugg's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Auracite doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshly simulacra and the surfeit of aether which compriseth them would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. Oh, that's not good. It would, theoretically, be possible to channel your minds into the Auracite instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process. Which is why we have abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. Then we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussions turn to the transference of memories in the psyche, I cannot help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Celeste, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? I speak of the royal eye of the Allegan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of ancient Allegans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allegans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. That is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Celeste turn to their source and inform Kryl and the others of our findings. Agreed. I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings onto Thancred and Reen, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Celeste, you're back! How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Kryl will be here shortly, and she'll want to hear too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
So this Beq Lugg's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
It's Estinien!
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Yeah, we're alright.
Estinien! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
That's Tataru's way of saying, why didn't you say anything?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very imperial palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead.
Gee, I wonder.
But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh.
He has, hasn't he? I have a feeling we're gonna need whatever the heck he did to get our friends back. Can't imagine he's gonna help us, though.
Zenos ye Galvas. Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn.
Oh, that's right. We don't actually know what happened to him. Uh-oh. Oh, Kryl's getting it too. I've seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you will join me, then by all means. For what good it will do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Okay, but wait for your friend. Oh boy. Oh boy. He just yeeted Estinien. And now he's being re-yeeted. Ah, the simple pleasure of one's own flesh. Truly, there is no place like home. Okay, but how did you do it? That's the question. Abomination? Whatever he is, Celeste was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer... Emperor Varus, your radiance, are you alright? Where the heck were you? He's been dead like 15 minutes now. We may wear out our welcome. Your radiance, no! Must even the most middling of sport be spoiled? The world conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Zenos! Why did the Emperor even have these people as guards? Like, they're just getting tossed around. I didn't even see what they said. I was too busy. Just one. Ooh! Yeah! Your radiance. The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Well, well, someone's been busy. What have they been doing? Oh. Wait. What? Oh, no. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidhogg. Lend me your strength. Oh boy, what are we... Ooh!
Taste my lance!
Get wrecked. Everything just falls apart. Love it. Oh. Well, that was terrifying still, though. Look at him. He's just like, yeah, that was nothing. It was so easy. Carlian's in there, Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius? You okay, Krile?
Are you alright?
Peer into my past, did you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Zenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds.
Oh, hi, me? Hi.
My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Zenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose.
Did he?
Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Why would he do that?
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did. But we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry. I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Cool, cool.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead.
Always something.
Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and our shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud,
Ha.
I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but With the Archons still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
I would like that. Aww.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Alright. But we like looking at you, Estinien.
Thank you for your help then, Estinien. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Poor Alphino.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
Yeah, try not to.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it.
Rest?
Go on.
You know I'm not going to be able to rest. You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Beq Lugg can manage without you. They've got enough scions to help them, if you ask me. Meanwhile, in Garlemald... Traitors! You would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne? Who? Oh! Ah! Onward, before this day is done, victory shall be ours. So we've got the Empire fighting against themselves now. Cool. I guess one is Team Zenos and the other is Team Nerva? Whoever that is. Boring, boring, boring. Oh, get a hobby. Do you think? I find it amusing. Like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. That hue. Your soul is... Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master. A hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiarch. Who is that? Meanwhile, in Eulmore in the First... Did you hear? The mayor is reopening Daedalus Stoneworks and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free Talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free Talos? Ha! We'd best get packing. Steady work, board and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Wait a minute, who is that? Hope? Wait. Ardbert? What? It's not saying his name is Ardbert, though. What? Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. What? It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. What? Okay. So, that ends 5.1. That kind of leaves a lot to think about there. Alright, so first of all, a couple of story things. First of all, really liked the story of this one. It was actually, for the most part, very wholesome and heartwarming. You got to see more of Alize's kind of sassy side, which I really liked. I loved that we got to see Holric and the rest of the victims of the Sin Eaters again, and I'm really hoping we get to see their progress and that they actually do continue to heal. That would be really, really good. I loved the whole situation with the Chais and the rebuilding of Eulmore. I mean, that was amazing. I love the Chais so much, and I'm really glad they got more screen time, and that News is actually going to be the mayor of Eulmore now. I think he's going to do a really good job, so I'm hoping that we can see more of that in the future and see how Eulmore is progressing. And now we've got Zenos and a mystery Ascian. I'm still really curious to see who that is, and possibly Ardbert. Possibly not Ardbert. I'm not really sure who this new mystery warrior is either. But all in all, the story of this one, yet again, was wonderful. Definitely more funny moments than sad in this one, which I really appreciated. Taking a break from having to cry so much. I think we also got to see some more character progression for certain characters, such as Alisaie and even Estinien, which I thought was great. Like, he's still his old self, obviously. He hasn't changed a whole lot, but I'm really glad we got to see him some more. We got to see his interactions with the main character and with Ataru and Kryle. And I'm glad that we got to play him too. I was a little worried about that because I've not actually done much with the Dragoon class in this game, but it was fun and I liked it. So yeah, all in all, this was a good story and I look forward to 5.2. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you have not. Also leave me a comment below as to what you thought of this patch, and you can also follow me on social media, which I have linked down in the description box below. And until next time, I hope you all have a great day and I will see you next time. Bye.